Chapter 8, Human Environment Interactions. The tropical and the subtropical region. Human environment interactions. The tropical and the subtropical region. Renuka was excited. Shrikant's uncle was home after a gap of nearly 4 months. He was a wildlife photographer and traveled widely. Renuka's interest in wildlife and forests began at an early age when her uncle introduced her to books on nature. Pictures of distant lands and people who lived there always fascinated her. In these pictures, Renuka and other people from different parts of the world will be seen. Some from dry deserts, some from frozen lands, and some from hot, wet rainforests. They look so different from me, observed Renuka. They may look different, but they share the same basic needs of life: food, clothing, and shelter. Explained Shrikant uncle. Their children do the same thing as you probably do: play games, quarrel sometimes, and then make up sing, dance, and help the families with various things that need to be done. They live closer to nature and very early in their lives have learned to care for nature. They learn how to catch fish and how to collect material from the forests. Life in the Amazon basin. Before learning about the Amazon basin, so we need to look at the map which is given in figure 8.2 of this book. Notice that the tropical region lies very close to the equator, between 10 degrees north and 10 degrees south. So it is referred to as the equatorial region. The river Amazon flows through this region. Notice how it flows from the mountains to the west and reaches the Atlantic Ocean to the east. The place where a river flows into another body of water is called the river's mouth. Numerous tributaries join the Amazon River to form the Amazon Basin. The river basin drains portions of Brazil, parts of Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and a small part of Venezuela. Climate. So, tributaries, these are small rivers that join the main river. The main river, along with all its tributaries that drain an area, forms a river basin or the catchment area. The Amazon basin is the largest river basin in the world. Climate. As we know, the Amazon basin stretches directly on the equator and is characterized by hot and wet climate throughout the year. Both day and nights are almost equally hot and humid. The skin feels sticky. It rains almost every day. That too much, that too without much warning. The day temperatures are high with very high humidity. At night, the temperature goes down, but the humidity remains high. Rainforests. As it rains heavily in this region, thick forests grow. The forests are in fact so thick that the dense roof created by leaves and branches do not allow the sunlight to reach the ground. The ground remains dark and damp. Only shade tolerant vegetation may grow here. Orchids, bromeliads grow as plant parasites. The rainforest is rich in fauna. Birds such as toucans, hummingbirds, macaw with their brilliantly colored plumage, oversized bills for eating make them different from birds we commonly see in India. These birds also make loud sounds in the forests. Animals like monkeys, sloth, and anteating tapirs are found here. Various species of reptiles and snakes also thrive in these jungles. Crocodiles, snakes, pythons abound. Anaconda and boa constrictor are some of the species. Besides, the basin is home to thousands of species of insects. Several species of fishes found in the flesh-eating piranha fish is also found in the river. This basin is thus extraordinarily rich in the variety of life found there. People of the rainforests. People grow most of their food in small areas after clearing some trees in the forest. While men hunt and fish along the rivers, women take care of the crops. They mainly grow tapioca, pineapple, and sweet potato. As hunting and fishing are uncertain, it is the women who keep their families alive by feeding them the vegetables they grow. They practice slash and burn agriculture. The staple food is manioc, also known as cassava that grows under the ground like the potato. They also eat queen ants and egg sacs. Cash crops like coffee, maize, and cocoa are also grown. The rainforests provide a lot of wood for the houses. Some families live in thatched houses shaped like beehives. There are other large apartment like houses called maloca with a steeply slanting roof. Life of the people of the Amazon basin is slowly changing. In the older days, the heart of the forest could be reached only by navigating the river. In 1970, the Trans Amazon Highway made all parts of the rainforest accessible. Aircrafts and helicopters are also used for reaching various places. The indigenous population was pushed out from the area and forced to settle in new areas where they continued to practice their distinctive way of farming. The developmental activities are leading to the gradual destruction of the biologically diverse rainforests. It is estimated that a large area of the rainforest has been disappearing annually in the Amazon basin. Destruction of forest has much wider implication. The topsoil is washed away as the rainfall and the lush forest turns into a barren landscape. Life in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The tributaries of river Ganga and Brahmaputra together form the Ganga Brahmaputra basin in the Indian subcontinent. The basin lies in the tropical region that is situated between 10° north to 30° north latitudes. The tributaries of the river Ganga, like the Ghagra, the Son, the Chambal, the Gandak, the Kosi, and the tributaries of Brahmaputra drain it. The plains of the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, the mountains and the foothills of the Himalayas and the Sundarbans delta are the main features of this basin. Oxbow takes dot the plain area. Oxbow lakes dot the plain area. The area is dominated by monsoon climate. The monsoon brings rains from mid June to mid September. The summers are hot and the winters cool. The basin area has varied topography. The environment plays a dominant role in the distribution of the population. The mountain areas with steep slopes have inhospitable terrain. Therefore less number of people live in the mountain area of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The plain area provides the most suitable land for human habitation. The soil is fertile. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people where flat land is available to grow crops. The density of population of the plains is very high. The main crop is paddy. Since cultivation of paddy requires sufficient water, it is grown in the areas where the amount of rainfall is high. Wheat, maize, sorghum, gram, and millets are the other crops that are grown. Cash crops like sugarcane and jute are also grown. Banana plantations are seen in some areas of the plain. In West Bengal and Assam, tea is grown in plantations. Silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of Bihar and Assam. In the mountains and hills where the slopes are gentle, crops are grown on terraces. The vegetation cover of the area varies according to the type of landforms. In the Ganga and Brahmaputra plain, tropical deciduous trees grow along with teak, sal, and peepal. Thick bamboo groves are common in the Brahmaputra plain. The delta area is covered with the mangrove forests. In parts of Uttarakhand, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, and fir can be seen. Because the climate is cool and the slopes are steep, there is a variety of wildlife in the basin. Elephants, tigers, deer, and monkeys are common. The one horned rhinoceros is found in the Brahmaputra plain. In the delta area, Bengal tiger and crocodiles are found. Aquatic life abounds in the fresh river waters, the lakes, and the Bay of Bengal Sea. The most popular varieties of the fish are the rohu, katla, and hilsa. Fish and rice is the staple diet of the people living in the area. Lake, a source of people in the area, the Ganga Brahmaputra plain has several big towns and cities. The cities of Allahabad, Kanpur, Varanasi, Lucknow, Patna, and Kolkata, all with the population of more than 10 lakhs, are located along the river Ganga. The wastewater from these towns and industries is discharged into the rivers. This leads to the pollution of the rivers. All the four ways of transport are well developed in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. In the plain areas, the roadways and railways transport the people from one place to another. The waterways is an effective means of transport, particularly along the rivers. Kolkata is an important port on the river Hooghly. The plain area also has a large number of airports. Tourism is another important activity of the basin. Taj Mahal on the banks of river Yamuna in Agra, Allahabad on the confluence of the rivers Ganga and Yamuna, Buddhist stupas in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Lucknow with its Imambara, Assam with Kaziranga and Manas with wildlife sanctuaries, and Arunachal Pradesh with a distinct tribal culture are some of the places worth a visit. Lake, a source of livelihood, a case study. Vinod is a fisherman living in the Matwali Mon village of Bihar. He is a happy man today. With the efforts of the fellow fishermen Ravinder Kishore Rajiv and others, he cleaned the Mon or the Oxbow lake to cultivate different varieties of fish. The local weed Valinaria hydrilla that grows in the lake is the food of the fish. The land around the lake is fertile. He sows crops such as paddy, maize, and pulses in these fields. The buffalo is used to pluck the land. The community is satisfied. There is enough fish catch from the river, enough fish to eat, and enough fish to sell in the market. They have even begun supply to the neighboring town. The community is living in harmony with nature. As long as the pollutants from nearby towns do not find their way into the lake waters, the fish cultivation will not face any threat. Do you know when Spanish explorers discovered the Amazon River, they were attacked by a group of local tribes wearing headgears and grass skirts. These people reminded them of the fierce tribes of women warriors known in ancient Roman Empire as the Amazons, hence the name Amazon. Bromeliads are special plants that store water in their leaves. Animals like frogs use these pockets of water for laying their eggs. Slash and burn is a way of cultivating land where farmers clear a piece of land by slashing or cutting down trees and bushes. These are then burnt, which releases the nutrients into the soil. Now, crops are grown in this cleared field for a few years. After repeatedly using the patch of land, the soil loses its nutrients, so it is abandoned. Then they clear another plot of land to plant. In the meantime, young trees grow in the old field. In this way, soil fertility is restored. People can then return to it and start cultivating it again. Terraces are built on steep slopes to create flat surfaces on which crops are grown. The slope is removed so that water does not run off rapidly. In the fresh waters of River Ganga and River Brahmaputra, a variety of dolphin locally called susu, also called blind dolphin, is found. The presence of shushu is an indication of the health of the river. The untreated industrial and urban wastes with high amount of chemicals are killing this species. To accelerate the efforts to achieve universal sanitation coverage and to put force on sanitation, the Prime Minister of India launched the Swachh Bharat Mission on 2nd October 2014. To conserve the river Ganga, Namami Ganga program has been initiated. This is all about Chapter 8, Human Earth, Human Environment Interactions, the tropical and the subtropical region.